this whole shit with holy rain. All from in between those hips on your slender frame. Grateful, grateful.
Yeah. Swear she looks Fiona Apple circa 96 with pale ocean eyes and pink powder lips, and she could bring me to my knees like in worship, like a goddess, but she's not. She's a bishop.
You got me like, girl, what you want from me? What you want from me? And try to buy.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Woman Wednesday. Thank you for joining your boy. In about 30 minutes, we'll get to a little bit of entertainment talk, man. Some interesting little stories out there today. Highlighted by this Ciara, Russell Wilson, in a naked picture with them and then 17-year-old son. We're going to get to that in the entertainment report today on the Doug Stewart Show. Welcome back. Yeah. NFL free agency. One quick note before we even get into the free agency. Former Oklahoma running back Joe Mixon visited privately with the Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, Detroit Lions, and New Orleans Saints on Tuesday night prior to his pro day, according to the NFL Network. So he's got his pro day today where he's going to do basically all of the same things that the Cats did at the Combine this past week. But, these teams, these college teams have individual pro day workouts as well. And so his pro day at the University of Oklahoma is set for today. This week will be the first time Mixon meets with teams during the draft process. Mixon was not invited to the NFL scouting combine because of his off-field conduct, which is kind of crazy. And I think somebody mentioned it yesterday in the chat I read last night. You do realize that this Joe Mixon thing happened where he hit the young lady 3 years ago. It happened 3 years ago. They kicked him off his team. He served a year suspension, and I guess it became news again. I don't know what new events made it become news again. Maybe it was just because this was the year that he was going to, look to be drafted or whatever. But the guy... And I hate to even start talking about this like I'm defending the guy because I don't think it was right. He shouldn't have done what he did. And I said that before when the story was at the top of the news. But, I mean, damn, what the hell you want? What? What do you want? What more do you want the guy to do? It's like I hate that whole narrative of if a guy makes a mistake or does something wrong, you can call it whatever you want. Like he's supposed to suffer for it for the rest of his life. Like certain people are granted second, third, fourth, fifth, chances. But, certain people get one chance, and if they, they blow it, then they're done for the rest of their life. They're dead to people. And the most clear example of this is Michael Vick. A lot of people just will not let it go with Mike Vick. And this is seemingly like another example of that with this Joe Mixon kid. And I don't know his intent. I don't know his character. I don't know anything about him. He could be saying all of this stuff and, apologizing over and over and over again just so he can get to the NFL. He might be a bad guy. I don't know. But he might not. He might not. He may have made a mistake. And listen, and let's not forget, you listen to the Doug Stewart Show, let's not forget, she put hands on him first. I know. Now, once again, to remind you, when we talked about this, I don't think that if a woman have I ever been hit by a woman? I don't know. We probably don't even need to comment on that. But Like, I don't think if a woman were to hit me the way that she did him, I don't think that I would respond the way that Joe Mixon did. I don't think so. But here's the problem. There's a thing called reflexes and natural instincts. Like, a lot of times you don't even think about it. Somebody put hands on you, you're going to, just naturally just respond. And I don't know if that's the situation with this guy or not, man, but it just seems crazy to me that people want to, hold something over a person's head for the rest of their life like they never can redeem themselves. Huh? Like this morning I had on this, I always keep on TV in the house when I'm getting ready for the show and prepping for the show before I go to the studio. I'm always, I got Mike and Mike on, and this Mike Golick just says that he would take him off his draft board. He wouldn't even consider him. And now that's his right. But to say that, to actually come out and say that you, in your opinion, don't want to give a person another chance, in effect for the rest of their life, is crazy to me. I mean, it's crazy. Like he said, I would take him off my board. He would not be a member of my team if I were a GM. Huh? And then the other Mike Greenberg guy, the other Mike was like, what if this guy turns out to be like a Hall of Famer? So what? I still wouldn't take him. Huh? Yeah, I still wouldn't take him. This guy might turn out to be a Hall of Famer. Guess what? Maybe not only maybe he will turn into be a Hall of Famer, but maybe he never even has another issue remotely close to what happened in 2014 when he hit the young lady in the face. Maybe that was an aberration. Maybe that was just a side thing. Maybe it was just what it was, a one-time thing. He had never been in any trouble before that or after. Now, I understand you punishing the guy, and Oklahoma punished him, and just magically this year it just became, this big story, and it got rehashed. And people don't want to let it go. I mean, it's just very strange to me, man. I know personally, man, I've been given a lot of second chances in my life. Second, third, fourth chances, as a matter of fact. So I don't know, man. It's just strange that 3 years after the fact, they're still trying to draw blood from this cat. They're literally trying to, get a pound of flesh, pun intended. They're trying to get a pound of flesh from this guy, man. And he hadn't done anything before. That was the same argument that I always had for Vic. Like, Vic had never been in trouble before. He had never been in trouble before. Matter of fact, done a lot of great things in the community here in Atlanta, from what I know, all through his life when he became an adult. So he had never got in trouble before. There wasn't like a rap sheet on Mike Vick. There wasn't like a pattern of behavior of doing nefarious things. There was never anything like that. He had never done anything before to go to jail, and to get into trouble. And then he had never since then, since he's come out of jail, he's never done anything as well. So what does that tell you? Same thing with this Mixon kid. I've never heard of him being in any type of situation like this before the incident in 2014. And I'm pretty sure he's going to keep his nose clean going forward. That's what happens. So it's just crazy to me, man. It's absolutely crazy. 404. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. So NFL free agency, man, I want to just run through a couple of the names before we jump back in the chat on Spreaker.com that are free agents today. The top free agents. Dante Hightower, the linebacker from the New England Patriots. He's only 27 years old. Big game player. He had the strip sack in the Super Bowl against Matt Ryan. Oh, my freaking gosh. A lot of mileage left on that car, man, and Dante Hightower, the linebacker, 27 years old. And it seems like the Patriots are going to let him go. I haven't heard anything about them franchising the guy, but you know what the Patriots do. Not only are they the best damn cheaters in sports, But the Patriots, I got to give it to them. The Patriots, to a large degree, man, they evaluate talent very well. And they also evaluate talent at a depth to what they're doing. So they probably got somebody that I'm not looking at right now that's backing up Dante Hightower that they think they can get the same production out of, and they're going to pay probably like half the price, or what he's going to garner on the free agent market. So Dante Hightower's out there. Alshon Jeffrey, the wide receiver for the Chicago Bears, top-notch wide receiver before last year when he had some injury issues. And he also had a 4-game suspension, I believe it was, for illegal narcotics. I think it might have been like steroids or something like that. But he caught a combined 174 passes for 2,554 yards and 17 touchdowns from 2013 to 2014. He played under the franchise tag last season but prefers a long-term deal, obviously. So you need a wide receiver, a top-notch Pro Bowl-type wide receiver. Alshon Jeffrey's out there. We talked about Brandon Marshall a little bit earlier, already agreeing to terms with the New York Giants. How about Calais Campbell? Big defensive end, 6'8" defensive end for the Arizona Cardinals, a little bit longer than 30 years of age. He's available, solid player for the Arizona Cardinals for the last couple of years. Don Terry Poe, if you need a defensive tackle or nose guard type guy, a guy that's going to plug the middle of the field, 346 pounds, he's available right now. He's only 27 years old. Defensive tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, he's available. Stephon Gilmore, cornerback for the Buffalo Bills, first-round pick a couple of years ago, that has done pretty good. A.J. Bowie, the cornerback for the Houston Texans. Pierre Garçon, the wide receiver for the Washington Redskins. He's been a model of consistency, man, averaging 75.2 catches and 909 yards and 4 touchdowns per year in the last 5 seasons. Not a game-breaker type player, man, but solid as hell. A little bit older, 31 years of age. Martellus Bennett, the tight end for the New England Patriots. Terrell Pryor. The Browns don't want to lose this dude, but they don't want to overpay him too. I think the thing with Terrell Pryor, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, y'all know I'm a big Terrell Pryor fan. The thing is, they're just not sure. Like, was last year just a fluke year? This guy had never played wide receiver before at a high level. They put him at wide receiver, and he just flourished. Had a great year last year. They're saying he's going to get somewhere between $13 and $15 million a season. And I kind of get it, and I've said this before, man. I went to a University of Miami game when they took on Ohio State when Terrell Pryor was the quarterback. I mean, just athletically, man, he might be one of the top, 10 athletes that I've ever seen, in football. Like, this dude is just, a physical specimen. But can he do it again? Is there a book out on Terrell Pryor as far as a wide receiver? Will he not have the year that he did this past year? Will he not have that type of year going forward? Intriguing prospect. Just talent-wise, though, phenomenal. Deshaun Jackson, who's 30 years old, but still one of the top 2 or 3 fastest guys in the league. You need somebody that can stretch the field and open up the middle of the field. He can do that. Kenny Britt, 28 years of age. He's been kind of struggling over the last couple of years. 6'3", 223-pounder. He became the Rams' first 1,000-yard receiver since Torrey Holt in 2007. So a good year last year, but over the last 2 or 3 years, even his last year in Tennessee, really it seems like his production has kind of slacked off a little bit last year, though a great year. Brandon Marshall already talked about it, that Brandon Marshall has already agreed to a deal with the New York Giants. Latavius Murray, this is a shocking thing to me that the Raiders don't want to bring this guy back or they don't want to pay for him. He led the team in rushing with 788 yards and 12 touchdowns in 14 games, missed a couple of games. He averaged 4.0 yards per rush, the exact same as a year earlier, even behind an offensive line that boasted 3 Pro Bowlers. The 6th-round pick in 2013 went over 100 yards rushing in games only twice in the past season. Seemed like I had him on my fantasy team last year, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Seemed like he got a lot more production than that, but I guess not. Eddie Lacy, running back for the Green Bay Packers, is a free agent, 27 years old. Constant conversation about him is his weight and keeping his weight down. Lawrence Timmons, linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 31 years of age. Adrian Peterson, running back, 32 years of age, running back. You know, at the end of a running back